That's what I'm saying. And what about you, sir? How did you? We know that the Irishman started it, but give us a little bit more.
He started the big ass snowball effect for sure. But I remember like in elementary school, I remember I had the first UFC game. I remember playing with like Anderson Silva, fucking Kurimoto shit, front kicking. Remember that like. I was a big fan of him and George St. Pierre, him being Canadian alone, him winning the Canadian Athlete of the Year multiple times. That was a huge thing too.
He was a huge spokesperson too for Under Armour, like here in Canada,
like,
at national sports and shit.
Us going to buy a hockey stick or fucking GSP's fucking Superman punching someone in the face. I'm like, who is that guy? National sports, man. National sports.
I know,
GSP.
there's
I know
big
exactly
GSP posters.
I know exactly. That's so funny. Wow, that's nostalgic.
And that's the thing for me too. I knew about who he was, but I never fucked with fighting because he was all over national sports. Like that's where we got our skates sharpened and shit, right?
Yeah, that's for anyone that doesn't know. It's like just a local sports store in our area that we would go for
skate sharpening.
Yeah, just
everything.
Skate sharpening, talking to men, and then basically there's just GSP there. Which is pretty
spokesperson for Under Armour, and Under Armour was like the biggest fucking thing back then.
Yeah. But anyways, so it started out with that. That was just kind of my introduction, I guess you could say, the crash course. But then I want to say, like university. First year in university is when I started getting really hooked into it. I remember I was watching the fake Bradley Martin.
We can play that music because it's not copyrighted, so we'll play it right now.
I think it's called MMA World, and it was just basically just the daily news of MMA. I remember just hearing the first introduction. I remember I was on World Star. I saw McGregor talking bear shit on the Go Big press conference. I briefly mentioned this in the last podcast, and you know that got me introduced to it. And then I'm like, who is this guy? And then I realized he was fucking everyone up. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. And then it was just when I first followed UFC on Instagram, I remember that changed everything because then it was on my feed, and then I just kind of kept getting more interested in there, posting highlights of people getting slept. And for me, I loved hockey. My favorite thing about hockey was hitting people, and for this guy too, he loved I've been wearing a lot of basketball jerseys.
Yeah, this guy doesn't even like fucking basketball. Let's just put it out there.
I've never resonated more with Joe Rogan ever before, when he said,
I know
my favorite Joe Rogan quote ever. He was like, I don't give a fuck. He didn't swear, but he basically said, I don't give a fuck about basketball. If they made it illegal, I literally wouldn't give a shit. And that was so truthful for me.
I don't mind basketball.
I just like the jerseys, but for me, I need
this guy. It's his summer fits, guys.
Yeah, it's my summer fits.
It's part of the summer fits. It's nice outside. He doesn't want to get shit t-shirt tan, so he's got to wear a fucking tanker.
Exactly. But yeah, man. Just everything that.
So you started at UFC Gym.
Yeah, so that was kind of like my introduction. I was like, okay, there's this UFC Gym. I want to try it out. I want to learn how to defend myself, and the reason for that, a big thing about that, I remember I even wrote down a story. I was at a bar in St. Catharines, which is the city where we went to school at Brock, and my sister went there too. So we were both at a bar, and I remember, just typical drunk shit with these just guys with huge egos. I think someone got like their picture mixed up, and I remember this guy, this guy was just behind my sister, and he was just like screaming at her, and he was like flipping her off and shit. I don't even know if you know this story.
I don't know this story.
He was like flipping her off and shit. And I'm extremely protective of my family. If anyone I'm close with, anyone I love with, I'll easily jump in front of a bullet for anyone I care about. That's just who I am. That's how I was raised, basically. But yeah, and I remember of course, I stepped in. My sister didn't even notice, which is funny. But I stepped in, and I was like, I didn't get into his face or anything. But I was just like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, relax. He was, whenever a man does that kind of shit to a woman, it just shows all you need about him. And then I remember him. Do you know at Peps it's kind of like a little above ground, and then you go around and you can come down the stairs, and it goes to the dance floor.
Yeah.
I was on the dance floor right where the stairs were, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna come downstairs, and and he was like, I'm gonna fuck you up. And I remember him coming down the stairs and him coming to me, and I'm like, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I have to fight this guy. I'm like, okay. But then I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I remember that feeling. I'm like, I don't know what I'm... And then Caitlin's boyfriend, Jared, actually, like just stopped the guy and he's like, get the fuck out of here, you loser. Then that guy actually got kicked out, which is funny.
Haley's a solid guy to have on your fucking team, too.
He's a good guy. But yeah, and I remember, I just remember that feeling. And I was just like that was just made me sick to my stomach because I just thought of like just, you know, any situation like that. I was like, I never want to be that. I never want to be in that situation where I need to defend someone. You know, this is a really it's honest. It's a serious topic. It's a serious topic. It's the honest truth. That's why I got into this. That's why I got this fucking St. Michael tattoo. It's just he's basically just like the protector saint. I'm not gonna get into that. It's a whole nother story. But that, you know, that resonated with me, and I was just like, I never, like, it was just something that made me sick to my stomach, and I never want to have that feeling again. So that made me go into the UFC gym. I tried that out. It was okay. I didn't really like the head coach because for the Jits, because he was a foreign guy and he was such a dick. I remember him like yelling at me because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like, but it's my third minute of jiu-jitsu on the mat. I'm like, I don't know what a pull guard or I don't know what I started in half guard. I'm like, what's half guard?
Yeah, that's exactly how it is for everyone.
Yeah, but I was just like, man, what the fuck? And then it was really, it was more for like, it's not adults, but it was more, I don't know what the word is. Not tough, I don't know what the word is, but basically it
wasn't gritty. It
wasn't gritty. It wasn't gritty.
It's probably like lifetime jiu-jitsu.
Exactly. Yeah. That's basically what it was.
Yeah, like it's just more for like exercise
it's more
to learn the art, not to like actually be competitive.
Exactly, and it was more like moms after work kickboxing class, that kind of shit. So it wasn't like I wanted, like what I pictured. I was so excited going into it. What I pictured was like, you know, fucking fighters training, sparring and shit. No, nothing like that. And then I've always wanted to go into training, but then school got in the way, and gyms for martial arts are really expensive. So I always knew that going in after when I graduated, I'd go into that. And then then going into jiu-jitsu is something the beginning of jiu-jitsu really tests who you are as a person, because you can recall like the first like few classes, like you're driving to the gym and you know you're going to get your ass kicked. You know you're going to get your arm bent, your neck twisted, your neck popped, your fucking ankle ripped off, and there's nothing you can do about it. Mm-hmm. You just got to keep going. You got to be relentless. You got to keep going, and then teaches you a lot. And then there's the one class you catch someone in a submission. You're like, I can progress. That's something.
I'm getting better.
To show for.
Yeah.
And then you catch someone again, or you sweep someone, and then it's just a crazy high. Once you hit that little progression, it's a crazy snowball effect, and then you're like, I want to go 6 times a day. I want to go, you know. I was so addicted to jiu-jitsu, I wasn't even lifting weights. I was going 6 times a week. I was going as much as I can because that's all I wanted to do. That's still all I want to do. Mm-hmm. But, you know, now, you know, I got, after the tournament and everything, got to get into shape stuff to get even better. That's what I learned.
We both fought a bit heavier than our regular weight. I would say we're both at more of like a comfortable weight. Now, if where we fight people, I fought at 195 and now I'm 176. So
I fought at 170 and I'm like 159 right now.
Yeah, so we both cut about like 10 pounds.
So, but yeah, no, it's just like it's not only like physical, it's more mental, if anything, because I've seen so many white belts while I'm there come in, get their ass kicked, and leave and never come back. That's why it's like when you gotta
be relentless.
You gotta be relentless. And that's what I knew. Like I remember all the people would be like, "Don't worry, man, just keep coming. It's gonna come. It's gonna come one day. You're gonna have that one class."
And it's not cheesy. Like in BJJ, you actually have to do that. You have to just continue trying and giving your best effort and begging for fucking forgiveness.
Yeah, no, it's just like you just gotta be relentless, and then you just gotta keep going, and eventually it's gonna happen. And you know, then it was nice. It's cool just being looked at, knowing you can defend yourself, especially in our peers. You know, just like you have a respect, because people that lift weights, like everyone looks at you differently.
Yeah, because people are just like,
it's a respect.
This guy knows how to fuck people up. You know, like it's a different thing, and that I definitely can vouch for that, bro. Because before, like, muscles don't mean fucking shit. I'll tell you guys that right now. Big muscles don't mean fucking shit. And when I went to fucking class, they fucking taught me that, and they taught me that fucking quick times. Yes. They were just like, hey, muscles, let's get over here. I'll fucking rip your arm off. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, yeah, that sounds like a fucking good time. And you just go there, like Michael said, and you just gotta keep on going back.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, and another thing is with jiu-jitsu is just like the way you're looked at with your peers. It's just it's cool being known to being able to defend yourself. You know, God forbid if that ever came to anything. You know, you're respected people. That's even more of a reason to avoid a fight in the first place. But yeah, no, that shit's really cool. I
like that jiu-jitsu's thing is like, you don't necessarily need to hurt your opponent. You know, I know UFC is not the same, but BJJ is like, you know, you bring them to the point where you can break them if you want to, and they can't get out of it. So they have to submit themselves. Like, they have to tap to say, like, okay, like, you go any further, I'm going to stop breathing, or I'm going to get my arm broken, or whatever. So you get control of the situation, and it's about distance management, staying tight to your opponent, you know, and making sure you're not in a position that you can get hurt. Like, our coach does a really good job of balancing that, like, sport part of it, where, like, this is how you can get points, a pass and guard, whatever, and then this is how in the streets you can stop the guy from punching you if he's on top of you and you're at the bottom, which is what jiu-jitsu is mostly based off of, which is your back, being comfortable on your back, being comfortable in a position where somebody's pressing on top of you, and being able to turn that energy into your advantage, right? So yeah, it's pretty, I like that part of it too, because people don't see you as like this like asshole who's gonna fuck people up. They see you as like someone that, like Michael said, like if it ever came down to it and you had to defend yourself or you had to use it, you use it, and it's not to like you know, inflict pain. It's more to like control the situation, just to keep yourself safe, which is a really good message.
And a perfect example of that is when Matt Serra in Vegas, he took some drunk guy down. Some drunk guy was being an asshole at a restaurant, and he was just being a douchebag. I don't know what he was doing specifically, but he was like threatening a lot of people. And then Matt Serra actually took him down, and Matt Serra is he beat GSP for the title, so he's a badass. Yeah, exactly. He's hilarious.
Regardless.
And it was like a perfect example of that video. I'll put it up there. Of when to use jiu-jitsu for self-defense and when to control a situation, instead of, you know, he could have just spinning back fist that guy into the shadow realm, Shadow Jorge Masvidal. But, you know, instead he just took him down. He just controlled his wrists, and then the guy was just fucking didn't know what to do. That's the thing. It's just like, on the feet, anyone has a puncher's chance. That's why you gotta take everyone seriously. But in jiu-jitsu, you take someone down, you know, that's our world. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to get out of a certain. You don't know anything. If you have no training, that's the
back to the
part.
saying.
That's the part where that saying comes in. Like, one class, like just learning the basics, the fundamentals, is gonna help you so much, and then you learn the more details, more specifics, and then it's a whole nother world, man. I'm telling you right now. Because just a quick note is, you know, I've rolled with very, very big guys, and I've caught them in something only because they have no training. So it'd be a different story if they had training. But, you know, I remember before rolling with them, I was like, oh my god, I don't know, this guy's huge. He's fucking, you know, there's the juice head guys, and I was like, oh fuck, man, this guy's so strong. And then he just didn't know what he was doing, and it was just like he didn't know weight distribution. Yes, he was so easy to sweep. You know, it's just shit like that. So with that, just rolling, just facing that fear of like, because that like kind of just resembled me of just like the big guy in the bar. I'm like, oh my god, like fuck, what am I gonna do? And that just like showed all the work that not only me, Jules, that we put into it just to prove ourselves wrong, you know, with that shit, any doubts. But yeah, that's the thing with jiu-jitsu. It's just like, you know, with me, I had my insecurities. I was very introverted, you know, with all that kind of shit. And then jiu-jitsu just helps me break out of that with all the life lessons it teaches you. You know, you self-doubt. Going to my first tournament, I was petrified of getting submitted in the first 10 seconds in front of, you know, my girlfriend, my sister, my best friends, you know, but you know, that didn't happen. You know, we trained our asses off and proved ourselves wrong, proved a lot of people wrong, which is really cool.
Yeah, guys, that shit's scary as fuck. Like, it's scary,
but now it's like I want to do coming more. Second, like I want to face the guy that beat me so badly, and I want to smash him. Yeah. Out of respect.
Yeah, of course. It's always a respect thing. After.
But I just coming second.
You'd love to have another roll.
Dude, I lose sleep over that shit. I didn't sleep at all. I had to take a personal day the next day because I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
It was like crazy.
Oh, I was just brutally beaten up. Like my body was so sore.
Yeah, that too.
Michael also rolled. Would you roll twice or 3 times? I rolled like 5 times.
3 or 4, I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, no, mine was no breaks. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I had like no fucking breaks for the last 3 fights.
He had more. You had a lot of people in your division.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of people.
The organization of it was fucked, but
it was an in-house
I was just so sore the next day. Like I fucking was destroyed. Anyways. Yeah. So yeah, that's our jiu-jitsu story, guys. Yeah, we're definitely excited to get back at combat once everything, you know, gets back to normal. Is it going to be weird? Probably. So we're just going to, you know, take it by year, see how they even open it up. So.